As if lightning struck in broad daylight, shocking news came from the 5th Division headquarters where 2 BTS members, Jungkook and Jimin, were serving in the military. Jungkook, who has been known as BTS's Golden Magne, is reported to have taken a radical decision that shocked the K-pop world. Not only fans, but even Jimin, his closest associate in the group, reportedly cried in disbelief after hearing the decision. What exactly did Jungkook decide? And why did Bang Si-hyuk, the founder of HYB and the man behind BTS's success, feel the need to intervene before things got too big to control, according to a reliable source from internal HYB? Jungkook's decision is referred to as one of the most defining moments in BTS's history. While no official statement has been publicly confirmed, rumors continue to circulate that Jungkook has decided not to continue activities as a permanent member of BTS after completing his mandatory military service. The move is believed to be part of a personal plan he had been thinking about since before his enlistment, encompassing exploration of a more individual global career and perhaps also a long break from the entertainment world. This news first spread when Bang Si-hyuk unexpectedly delivered a public statement in an interview. He said, "We have no power over the personal decisions of the members. If they want to pursue their dreams, we will support them, even if it means giving up something big." The statement immediately raised ARMY's concerns, especially since it was not named, but implicitly pointed to Jungkook, who has reportedly been in the most active discussions with Bang Si-hyuk in recent months. The most dramatic of these was Jimin's reaction. In an internal report leaked to Korean media, Jimin is said to have been devastated to learn of Jungkook's decision. He even locked himself in his room for almost 24 hours, crying and not answering messages from other BTS members, including Taeyoung V, who is usually closest to him after Jungkook. A staff member said that crying sounds were heard from his room, but none of the staff dared to knock on the door. RM, as the leader, eventually had to intervene to contact Jungkook directly through military channels to ask him to calm Jimin down. The two are known to be very close, more than just colleagues. Their fraternal relationship was built since the trainee days, reinforced by long years in dormitories, on stage, and traveling the world together. And so, when Jungkook chose the big move without first consulting Jimin, the emotional hurt was inevitable. Jimin feels abandoned, as if Jungkook's decision is a form of rejection of all the bonds they have built together. On the other hand, Jungkook did not take this decision rashly. Since before enlisting in the army, he has shown great interest in global solo projects. His album Golden and singles such as Seven managed to top the international charts. He also began exploring the world of fashion through his collaboration with Calvin Klein and is said to be preparing his personal label. In one of Suchwada's episodes, Jungkook once half-jokingly said he wanted to try living a normal life for some time, free from the camera spotlight. Is that now a reality? Industry observers see this as both an opportunity and a major risk. If Jungkook chooses to leave or take a long break, BTS will lose one of its main pillars, said Kim Jun, entertainment analyst at Seoul Media Insight. However, at the same time, the world will see a soloist who has the potential of a global artist class. HYB has remained silent, refusing to confirm or clarify. They only stated that any decision would be announced after all members had completed military service. But the fans did not stand still. ARMY discussion forums around the world are filled with speculation. Some tried to defend Jungkook's decision as a form of personal growth. Others felt anxious that this could be the beginning of BTS's split. Amidst the uproar, one thing is certain. The atmosphere of the K-pop world has never been this hot since BTS's hiatus announcement in 2022. Bang Si-hyuk himself reportedly participated in directly mediating the communication between Jimin and Jungkook. He understands very well that it is not only the group that is being threatened, but also the emotional connection between its members. "I know it's hard, but I believe they will find a way to keep supporting each other," Bang said during one of HYB's internal meetings. Meanwhile, reactions from other BTS members also varied. RM reportedly tries to be neutral and rational, trying to understand Jungkook's reasons while calming Jimin down. Suga gave his full support, stating that he always respected the choices of individuals in the group. Jin, who had already completed the draft, was considered the most neutral. He understands how military experience can change a person. After the war, things felt different. "Maybe that's how Jungkook feels," said a source close to Jin. But the big question now is, will Jungkook's decision be the end of BTS as we know it? Or is this the beginning of a new era? Many believe that BTS will not be disbanding anytime soon, but the shape will probably change. Cross-project collaborations, more dominant solo activities, and a more flexible comeback schedule could be the new face of BTS going forward. A Korean music critic, Park Hye, summed up this situation with touching words. "BTS has become a symbol of solidarity, friendship, and growth. But even a family must let its members go after their own destiny. If Jungkook decides to step up on his own, it's not a betrayal. That's evolution." Now, the eyes of the world are on two figures in Division 5, Jungkook and Jimin. Will their relationship recover? Will Jungkook's decision change? Or rather, is this really the end of their joint journey in such a long-remembered format? One thing is for sure, this decision will be an unforgettable turning point, not only for BTS and the ARMY, but for K-pop history as a whole. The world can only wait and prepare for change that may be inevitable. In the midst of the ongoing news storm, the big question arises: has Jungkook really decided to step down from BTS or take a completely different path? Or is all this just narrative engineering shaped by media algorithms and sensationalism machines in order to attract the attention of a public hungry for drama? We live in an age when one snippet of a TikTok video, one tweet on Twitter, or one clickbait thumbnail on YouTube can shape mass perception in a matter of minutes. The news of Jungkook's decision that brought Jimin to tears, along with Bang Si-hyuk's involvement, has become a hot topic on various platforms. But how much of that can we really verify? To what extent can we distinguish what is fact and what is constructed? The sources of information we summarize come from various social media, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, to entertainment media articles that do not always comply with professional journalistic standards. Some even cite reliable sources from within HYB, without naming names or concrete evidence. Shouldn't we start to question, is this real news or just speculation wrapped in an emotional narrative? Consider this. If it is true that Jungkook took such a big decision, why is there no official statement from HYB? Why hasn't the Korean mainstream media picked it up with solid evidence? Shouldn't a decision of this magnitude, which he says made Jimin disappear and cry for a whole day, make national headlines, not just a confusing trending topic? Further, reflect on how this narrative was formed. Starting with Bang Si-hyuk's ambiguous statement, followed by a dramatic description of Jimin locking himself up and crying, and then refined by netizen speculations on online forums. We are presented with a series of emotions, but a minimum of facts. Is this the way the media shapes a new reality that dribbles feelings more than logic? These questions become all the more important to ask when we realize how quickly public emotions can be provoked. ARMY, as a very loyal and protective fandom, will certainly immediately react to news that mentions internal divisions or tensions. But is the reaction based on the right information, or is it just a narrative formed by algorithms that understand what can get us hooked? We invite you to inquire further. Why did this information appear when Jungkook and Jimin were still in military service, where access to their communications was limited? Is this a deliberately chosen moment because it will not be immediately refuted by official statements? Who benefits from spreading the word? Media? Digital platforms? Or are the parties looking to raise exposure through controversy? Criticism of the entertainment media cannot be ignored. In a highly competitive industry like K-pop, marketing strategies often involve playing on the emotions of the public.